Development, Dele Alake, stated that the nation has a lot to gain from reawakening economic activities in a highly mineralized state like Zamfara that is imbued with vast gold, lithium, and copper belts.
I announce to you that the President has approved the lifting of the ban on mining exploration in Zamfara State. So we shall be communicating officially to the various agencies, the relevant agencies that are involved in the mining activities.
On the recent controversy surrounding the Memorandum of Understanding with France, Alake reaffirmed the federal government's position that the agreement does not imply Nigeria is relinquishing control over its mineral resources or entering into any military pact with France. He emphasized that Nigeria's military remains fully capable of safeguarding the nation's integrity.
High points of the MOU, the high points are on training, capacity building between France and Nigeria. And we need all the assistance we can get in terms of capacity, technical, financial, whatever, in this sector from abroad. And that wasn't even the first MOU we were signing. We signed one with Germany. I think we signed with Australia. And there was no hue and cry.
He urges stakeholders to support the federal government policies as 2025 looks promising for the sector. The federal government has assured international organizations of its commitment to strictly uphold agreements regarding funding for essential agricultural and rural development projects. This was disclosed by the Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, along with the Minister of Women Affairs, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, during a review meeting and discussion of the budget for 2025 projects.
Are key players in the implementation of projects funded by the federal government and the development partners. The meeting was chaired by the Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture is implementing 4 key projects funded by the World Bank, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, the Islamic Development Bank, and the African Development Bank. The purpose of the meeting was to review and approve the 2025 annual work plan and budget for the 4 key agricultural donor-funded projects.
That the focus of the ministry at this point in time is to ramp up production and scale up value addition, thereby reducing post-harvest losses, ensuring food security, creating jobs and income for our farmers.
The Minister of Women Affairs, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, advocated more opportunities for women in agricultural projects. She cited the World Bank's finding that addressing gender productivity in agriculture could increase the country's GDP by up to $8.1 billion.
There are good policies and practices in place that will leverage to transform the sector for women. For instance, we have the First Lady Every Home Gardening Initiative, which seeks to drive the household food security through home gardening. This is such an important model worthy for the stakeholder to consider and adopt.
The meeting emphasized the need for all coordinators to adhere strictly to the agreements Nigeria signed with multilateral institutions in the execution of the projects. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And was boosting government's efforts on food security. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has distributed agricultural input to 6,000 wheat farmers in Kano. Under the intervention, farmers were divided into 12 special cluster centers in the state, in which each smallholder farmer was given 3 bags of fertilizer and 50 kilogram bag of wheat seed. Shehu Hadamu has the details.
Launching the distribution exercise at Alkamawa in Bunkuri, the Kano State Coordinator, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Isa Isiako Otore, explained that the program is covering 3,000 hectares in the 12 special clusters in Alkamawa and local government areas of Ajingigaya and Garku. The coordinator said the inputs were given to the farmers at 75% subsidy by the federal government, while the farmers will pay 25% of the inputs.
The special cluster centers, we have about 12 in Kano, 4 at Alkamawa, 3 at Gurgur, Ajingi local government. We have 2 at Gaya local government, and then 3 at Garko local government.
Chairman of the Gaya Emirate Farmers Association, Yakubu Ibrahim, expressed gratitude to the federal government for their intervention, saying it will go a long way in boosting wheat production in the state.
The scheme is quite okay. That would reduce the importation of wheat, which is the major food stuff, the grain we eat.
The beneficiaries are optimistic that the intervention will encourage them to resume large-scale wheat production, which before now reduced significantly due to the high prices of fuel and fertilizer. In Kano, Shehu Adamu, NTA News.
Its states in Nigeria have indicated interest with 30% counterpart fund to key into the federal government's newly launched interventions to increase access to electricity in rural communities. Executive Director, Rural Electrification Fund, Doris Ubo, said the interventions will upscale solar energy connection and boost rural economy. Joshua Ojito reports.
The initiative EHAT, which is to energize healthcare centers, educational facilities, agriculture, rural communities and the transportation sector, as well as the distributed access through renewable energy scale-up DEC, receive the support of state governments.
Our expected outcome is to create an alignment between the different parties that are required to play a critical role in addressing the electricity access gap in the country.
8 states are ready with a 30% counterpart fund, as federal government is to provide 60% funding for the projects.
Kaduna State ready to receive our co-funding. People like Plateau State Governor, Katsina, Cross River, Lagos State. So the list is unending, and we're encouraging those who have not started to emulate those who are already in the game, so that this can be an all-encompassing solution for every state. We're bringing mixed grill solution to the energy space.
The counterpart about the funding that is required from the state, I believe that the governors should do well to attend to. Already we have a counterpart funding for 10,000 solar for 10,000 homes. Possible State is having it so good.
It's the right time now for the transition to renewable energy.
More than 17 million Nigerians are expected to be connected with solar mini-grids under the 2 programs. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Passengers have applauded the magnanimity of the federal government for providing free train rides from Kaduna to Abuja for the Christmas and New Year celebration, with an appeal for extension of the gesture. Kim Quartz has more from Rigasa Railway Station.
Rigasa Railway Station in the early hours of the morning is a beehive of activity as passengers are rushing with luggages to board the free train ride to Abuja. Ahmed Yakubu and Mariam Hussein expressed their feelings, commending the federal government for the free train ride.
Good thing, yeah, everybody, is a good thing. Like, we really enjoy it. Those that travel actually.
More trains, more than the number of the trains that used to actually lift to Abuja to and fro, can be increased so that to accommodate the population on ground.
Railway station manager Rigasa, Mohammed Kabiru Yakubu, says 16 coaches, as at the time of filing in this report, so far have departed Rigasa with passengers.
And it's 000 naira. It's free. It's free. Anybody who tells you to come and buy tickets with money, disregard that request.
The free train ride, which started on the 20th December 2024, will end on the 5th January 2025. In Kaduna, Kim Gods, NTA News.
Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has reaffirmed that the sacred duty of defending Nigeria's sovereignty is entrusted only to individuals who demonstrate exceptional traits and abilities. He made this assertion while serving as the reviewing officer at the passing out parade for basic military training course 44 2023 held at the Military Training Center, Nigerian Air Force Base in Kaduna State. Defense correspondent Elijah Bello has the details.
A statement by the Deputy Director of Public Relations and Information, Group Captain Kabir Ali, indicates that Air Marshal Abubakar commended the recruits for their perseverance and dedication, emphasizing the transformative nature of their training as deliberately challenging to molding them into warriors, tradesmen, and leaders with courage, discipline, and resilience. The Chief of the Air Staff urged the newly inducted airmen and airwomen to uphold NAF's core values of integrity, service before self, and excellence in all they do, while emphasizing the responsibility to remain vigilant, respect civilians, and adhere strictly to the rules of engagement. Air Marshal Abubakar also discussed the pivotal role the new recruits will play in addressing Nigeria's security challenges, noting that many will be deployed to operational theatres and internal security operations. Air Marshal Abubakar expressed appreciation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his unwavering commitment to addressing the operational, logistical, and welfare needs of the NAF, while assuring President Tinubu of the Nigerian Air Force on its loyalty and total commitment to his agenda for a peaceful and prosperous Nigeria. The ceremony celebrated the successful completion of 6 months of intensive training by 1,190 airmen and airwomen. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
We'll take a quick break now. More reports ahead. Please to stay with us.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. For fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, tune in to NTA News 24, DSTV Channel 419, Good TV Channel 26, Star Times Channel 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703.
Thank you for saying those. Vice President Kashim Shettima has offered prayers for victims of the tragic stampedes that claimed lives, describing the incidents as a national tragedy. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Office of the Vice President Stanley Gwocha said the incidents in Anambra, Oyo, and FCT are heart-touching. Vice President Kashim Shettima expressed deep sorrow over the losses. He assured affected families that the federal government will provide necessary support during this difficult period. The video for the late Assistant Director News, Digital Media of Voice of Nigeria, Rafat Salami, was held in Abuja. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, is among many well-wishers that offered special prayers for the peaceful repose of the soul of the deceased. Saliu Wanara reports.
Imam Fuad Adeyemi led the congregation to offer special prayers as family, friends, professional colleagues, and well-wishers converged at the Al-Habibiyya Central Mosque in Guzape to fulfill the religious obligation for the peaceful repose of the soul of Rafat Salami. Ambassador Sheikh Redwan Mustafa reminded Muslim faithful to focus attention on building legacies on activities that will be beneficial to them in the hereafter. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, described late Rafat Salami as an asset to the media industry and one who promoted the ideals of Islam.
First, let me convey President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's condolences to the family, her friends, and well-wishers, and the entire media community in Nigeria, to her family, to her friends, and to everyone within the media community. We mourn her, and we also want to take this opportunity to ask the media personalities, wherever they are, to emulate Rafat. She indeed lived a very good life, very professional, very forthright. We pray for Allah to accept her and Al-Jannah. We also pray that the family will find comfort even in death.
On the unfortunate triple event of stampede in Ibadan, Anambra, and Abuja, the minister says,
Mr. President also advises all Nigerians to, even when they are receiving palliatives that are meant actually to help the people, situations like that turn into tragedy. It is quite unfortunate. No one prays for that, and Mr. President has already directed that a thorough investigation be carried out with a view to ascertaining the immediate and remote causes of such tragic situations, and to also avert the occurrence of these kind of situations going forward. At the time that we are going into the Christmas season, we will not want to have tragedies such as this. The President is greatly saddened by this. All of us are saddened by this, and we do hope that this will be the last that we hear of this kind of situation in this country.
In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Beatrice Gisalu, has advised Nigerian youths to use the occasion of this year's Christmas celebration in praying for the country to overcome its current socio-economic challenges. This was at an event organized for youth by the minister in commemoration of the Christmas season. Ekene reports.
It is the Christmas season once again, a period to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. The Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs organized a carol and band competition for the Boys Brigade in the spirit of the season and to draw the youths closer to God. It was also another opportunity to enlighten Nigerians on the program of President Tinubu while soliciting support of citizens for the president.
The renewal of Agenda is for all Nigerians. Mr. President, the government has put all projects across all over the country. So very soon, everybody is going to benefit.
So the message is a message of love, that we must prepare for next year. Next year is an implementation year for the renewal agenda. We must double up effort to make sure that we put in our best towards the realization of the Nigeria of our dream. This is the government of the women, of the people.
The clergy commended the minister for the initiative, urging participants to use the season to propagate the gospel of Jesus Christ.
This is done with the idea of evangelism. It's done with the idea of drawing us to the reason why we live.
As the event draws to a close and winners emerge from the competition, the minister expressed delight that it is not just a showcase of talent and creativity, but also a display of unity and joy that Christmas represents. Ekene Ndue, NTA News.
The Christmas season is here again, a time of the year when good-spirited individuals and groups support the less privileged and advocate better life for them, especially widows and orphans. It is in the same light that the Sunday and Obokere Oriaran Foundation, a non-governmental organization, held its annual Christmas party and humanitarian outreach in Abuja. Lucia Abiago reports.
Glory has been battling with an eye impediment since 2019, and coupled with her being a widow, she has since been facing an uphill task to care for herself and children. Glory and other widows here who have gathered from across the nation's capital city, Abuja, including indigent children, now feel they are no longer subjected to societal indifference as the Sunday and Omokore Oriaron Foundation SOOF is touching them with milk and human kindness.
I'm very, very happy.
The foundation was set up in memory of our parents who were also into humanitarian activities, and we just thought that we will have to keep on their legacies. And the essence is that this is a season of love, season of giving, Christmas time, and some of these orphans and widows, they don't even know where their next meal will come from. And we thought that while we are making merry, we should also remember this set of people.
The family is united in this. We have other siblings doing the little they can in Asaba, all parts of the country.
Supported by partners, the SOOF is using the outreach not only to give welfare and educational packages to children and widows, but also to offer them other humanitarian activities to include free medical services and efforts the group pledged to sustain.
Last year we catered for 500. But this year we are catering for over 1,000. So when you talk about sustainability, we are beyond sustainable. We are growing everything.
Not just centered on the festive period only. This is something we do like even monthly, by every 3 months, 6 months, and all of that. We are not just limited to just giving them food and items. Rather, we also try to provide sustainable development.
We are checking their blood pressure to be sure that their blood pressures are fine. And if there is any issue with their blood pressures, we have doctors here that will attend to them and give them free medications. So also we are checking their blood sugars.
They check all my BP every day, it's fine. But that people, they give me the pain relief.
The beneficiaries only want individuals and corporate bodies who have the wherewithal to take a cue from Sunday and Omokore Oriaron Foundation. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
You're still watching the news at 11 on NTA News 24. A quick look at some of our top stories. A federal government lifts ban on mining exploration activities in Zamfara State.
I have the honor and privilege to announce that the President has approved the lifting of the ban on mining exploration in Zamfara State.
Federal government promises regular funding for essential agricultural and rural development projects. It states partner federal governments on interventions to increase access to electricity in rural communities. The Muhammad Buhari football tournament has been concluded in Daura with Musa Football Club as the winner after defeating Haro Academy with a decisive 5-goal lead. Hosseini Sulema reports that former President Muhammad Buhari has also received the award of excellence by the organizers.
It is a friendly football tournament featuring teams from within and outside Daura area of Katsina State. Musa Football Club and Musa Haro Academy locked horns in a keenly contested grand finale, which saw Musa Football Club emerge winner after the final whistle with superior goal difference.
Yes, they should keep working harder, working smarter against next move in life. You know, this is the first stage in life. Winning this cup is not the end of it.
I wish them the best. Both winner and the loser, exactly. Especially the runner-off. Let them put whoever against the season, inshallah, to clean the trophy against the season, inshallah.
The game is so sweet to me and for spectators. Everybody enjoyed the game, and what happened for the game is just the miscalculation. Especially our defense line, we get the defense error.
The winning team received the President Muhammadu Buhari prestigious cup and cash prize of 500,000 naira, while Musa Haruna Academy received 300,000 naira, and the third place prize of 200,000 naira went to Superstar Kankia.
This is the award presented to the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari.
That concludes the news on NTA News 24. I am Charles Harper. Thanks for watching.
Is not happening in the rural area. There's no balance, there's no holistic or concerted approach to development.
Every development is local. You know, every underdevelopment is also local. I think what we need is to promote national development.
Good Morning Nigeria, the Nigerian Television Authority's flagship program, brings you all you need to know on current national issues that affect you. With expert analysis from professionals from all fields of endeavor, Good Morning Nigeria is your daily tonic of accurate, fact-based and intellectual discussions on issues that matter to you. Airing every weekday live between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. on the network service of the